We are back for another fun race here. Fun commentary race. We got Dan the man on the pole. Starting second would have been me, but it'll be Bobby Osh, meaning TJ third, and then James and Brandon backed out of the qualifying. So I got a invite here from Dan and Bobby. Yep, I got 2 invites, so let's roll.
You're gay.
Oh, jeez. Use that invite I got from Bobby and Dan. Look like I got an extra. They should be rolling. Got their sliders in. I hope they were all ready. I did forget to ask them, but we got Bobby, Brandon, Dan, James, and TJ ready to rock. Here we go.
Gay. Gay.
Jeez. Like I said, we got Dan the man on the pole, starting first. Bobby Osh, I believe, is starting second. TJ third, and like I said,
Eagles likes balls.
Pretty Boy James and Brandon Torres starting
I
in
love
the back.
balls.
And here we go. Green flag is in the air. Dan the man on the pole in the 31 car. 52 lap race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Dan goes right to the lead. Right off the bat, Bobby Osh drops right in behind him. TJ hangs back in third. Bobby looks low. Bobby goes for the lead. Dan gonna run the high line. 3 wide in the turn 1, or turn 3s and 4. TJ to the lead. Crazy battle right off the hop. And that is TJ, I believe, we got leading now. TJ into the grass. What's going on with him? TJ rides the grass right as he got the lead. Crazy start. Holy moly. But now we got Dan the man back to the lead. Bobby Osh looks like he got caught up in something. He's got to catch back up. Pretty Boy James getting passed now by Brandon. James is in the wall. Not the start TJ wanted to his race, or probably Bobby Osh. And then Dan the man is now once again in the lead. That was a crazy first lap we had. You just gotta be careful getting into turns 1 and getting into turns 3 on that bottom line. You will drift up, you gotta leave off extra, you'll hit the guy on your outside, which is I believe what happened. It's right along with our leader, right off the hop here. Dan the man comes home to complete another lap. Gets in the wall. We got Bobby Osh hanging back here. I believe he's 4th. Oh, Pretty Boy James and Brandon Torres make a little bit of contact heading into 3. Oh, James is in the wall again. Brandon Torres he's looking low. Is James gonna nose chop him? Brandon falling back in line. Looks like Bobby Osh is falling back there. Yesterday, Bobby Osh had one crazy good race at Atlanta. He had a shot to win it. Him and James are probably the 2 cars to beat. He was stage 2 winner. T-Ball ended up getting the win, but he got some tempers flaring. Pretty Boy James and Bobby Osh were both very unhappy with him after the race. Bobby had a few words to say after the race, and just gonna say watch out for payback next time you see both of them in a race. Pretty Boy James looking for the lead. He's looking low. Dan gonna give him the low line, and That was a photo finish at the line. I believe Dan the Man led it. Contact there, James. And Dan the Man made contact. More contact. Guys playing not so nice early here in this race. It's gonna be another photo finish at the line. Dan the Man's gonna get it again. It's right along with Brandon Torres watching this battle ahead of him. 3-car battle for the lead. Clip the apron there coming off of turn 2. Dan the Man gonna give Pretty Boy James the low line. And Brandon Torres gonna make his move. Looked like Dan the Man got in the wall a little bit there. Now Toyota's move out in front. Dan the Man gonna fall right back in line. It's right along from Pretty Boy James's view. No cars out in front of him right now. Sure, that's the view he wants to see. As we got Brandon Torres back there in second, trying to hold off Dan the Man. Dan being patient, waiting to make his move. He looks low on Brandon Torres. They're side by side coming out of turn 2. Ooh, did they make a little bit of contact back down the back straightaway? More contact as they head into turn number 3. Let's see where TJ's at. He's still just driving along. He's in turn 3 and 4 while the leaders are heading into turn 2, so he's got about half a lap to make up here. He'll probably get his break in the stage if he doesn't lose a lap. As we can see, Bobby Ash falling off the pace from the 3 leaders. Oh, looks like Brandon Torres trying to make moves on Dan the Man. Let's see if we'll get green flag pit stops this race, or if a caution will come out and ruin that and have yellow flag pit stops. But till then, we're gonna have a 3-car battle or 2-car battle here for second. James tries to drive away as these two battle it out. Crossover move on the apron. Brandon Torres goes on the apron. And Dan the Man's gonna take that spot away. Brandon gonna look low. Dan gonna run his line and keep the second position. Looks like they got a little loose off of 4 there, if I'm not mistaken. Do we have a caution out, or is this the end of the stage, or is this a caution? I'm not quite sure what, I'm assuming it's the end of a stage. It's only a 52 lap race.
Stage and jump package my cars. End of stage.
So it is the end of stage 1. Your stage 1 winner is Pretty Boy James.
Yay. My car's garbage, this package sucks.
Well, I guess you got some in-race reports there from Bobby Ash. Package apparently sucks. And his car is garbage. See if he can make some pit adjustments and get back up there with the leaders. This will be a luck break for TJ. He'll get back up there in the front. Green flag is back in the air. Pretty Boy James and Dan the Man will round out the first row. Brandon Torres and TJ, and then Bobby Ash. Remember, this previous race, or previous restart we had, was a crazy restart. All the cars go single file right now. Brandon Torres looked low on Dan. Bobby Ash now making the move on TJ for 4th. And the 3 leaders gonna try to drive away again. Dan looks like he hit the grass a little bit there. Pretty Boy James goes back out in front, and Dan looked like he hit it again. Made the car stick on the bottom that time. Looked like he may have clipped the apron a little bit there. Him and Brandon Torres are going to continue to battle it out for second and resume where they left off before the stage end. And Bobby Osh trying to stick with them this time. And what happened to TJ? TJ may have had mechanical failures or something, unless he made a pit stop. Looks like he has left the race. And Pretty Boy James, as we were... Oh, Pretty Boy James went sliding through the grass. Did he lag out? Did he have mechanical failures? What happened to Pretty Boy James? Frustrating situation he is in right now. We got 3 cars still in the race, and Pretty Boy James looked like he was the car to beat, and that is gonna suck for him. We'll see what happened there. We'll soon find that out. I know he didn't make a pit stop. I seen him go through the grass and then disappear.
James is going to lead.
James is... Well, that wasn't a good timing for him, I guess. Dan the Man leads, and
TJ?
Brandon Torres will keep second place, and then Bobby Osh right now is in third. That is your running order. Hopefully we don't run out of cars this time. We probably won't have green flag pit stops here in stage number 2, but we are likely to have green flag pit stops in stage 3, if no caution. Right now, since James left the race, Dan the Man might be the new car to beat. Little right along here with Dan the Man and go NASCAR crank it up.
I had to get my food.
As we ride along with our race leader, Dan the Man, he will come home to complete another lap as he heads into turn number 3. Can Brandon Torres close the gap between himself and Dan the Man? We got Bobby Osh, maybe a second back from the leader, just about, I'd say. Doesn't look like it'd be too much more than that, but Dan the Man right now seems to be the car to beat. But Brandon Torres is inching his way closer to Dan the Man. Maybe we'll have a battle for the stage win at the end of the stage here. Dan the Man comes off at turn 4. He'll be completing another lap here in the lead. Don't know if Brandon Torres has led a lap yet, but he hasn't let Dan the Man drive away, but he hasn't been able to close the gap too much more. Trying to stay in the draft there as they head down the back straightaway. He is just about hot on Dan the Man's trail. He is there now. Oh, and he puts Dan the Man up in the wall. Contact between the leaders here. Whoa, that was
give it to you.
He put his nose where it didn't belong and put Dan the Man in the wall. Sure, Dan the Man's not going to be happy with that move. Maybe there'll be retaliation. Did they bring out a caution for that, or is that the end of the stage?
End of stage.
Is that the end of the stage there? We'll find that out, but that was... I'd probably say that was a pretty dirty move by Brandon Torres. He probably didn't mean it, just tried to put his nose down there and just didn't work out there for Dan the Man. But if that is the end of the stage, that would be Brandon Torres, our stage winner, I believe. That was a crazy battle there
Rubbin
at
is
the end of it.
racing.
They come to get the green here. Brandon Torres inside.
Is it
Bobby
end
Ash
of stage?
outside. Green flag is in the air. They head into turn number 1. Can Bobby Ash get his car to be a contender for the win? As they wiggle coming out of turn 2. We go single file now. Brandon Torres a little loose off of 2, it looks like. Bobby Ash gonna look under Dan the Man now for second place.
Is this stage 3?
Oh, the bumper being retaliated. Retaliation here between Dan the Man and Brandon Torres. Dan the Man didn't like the move Brandon Torres pulled on him to win the stage, and we got more contact between Brandon Torres and Bobby Ash. A lot of contact here. Dan the Man did not like what Brandon did to him to win that stage, I believe, if it was the end of the stage. Still waiting for word on that, but that was some retaliation and then more contact between Brandon and Bobby Ash. We'll ride along here with Brandon in second place. And see if he can close the gap from his point of view. Looks like he's slowly closing the gap on Dan the Man. It's right around with Bobby Ash. Did Bobby Ash no, this is Dan the Man. Let's ride around here with Bobby Ash and see the distance between Dan and Brandon, and between
Bobby Ash learned to effing drive.
him and Brandon. Dan the Man's gonna continue to lead. And like I said, I believe this is stage 3. I don't think that would have brought out a caution, because I did put her on relaxed caution. So I believe this is stage 3. I believe that was the end of the stage. So we are in the final stage.
Let me know when 5 to go.
As we got Dan the Man leading here once again. He's been the car to beat since Pretty Boy James has backed out of the race. Brandon Torres may have a tad bit better of a long run car. We've seen him make that move there on Dan for the last lap of stage 2. So far, Toyotas have swept both stages, but 2 different drivers. Can Dan the Man close out with the win here? As Dan the Man heads out of turn 2, I'm trying to watch the gap here between himself and Brandon and see if it's closing. Bobby Ash is making green flag pit stops. Looks like he's got heavy damage to the front end of that car. He must have gotten into a wreck here. Not looking too good for Bobby Ash. Looks like there's no caution.
My car's bucked, LOL.
Brandon and Dan are still under green, so Brandon Torres is going to try to close this gap here on Dan the Man. Let's see if it shrinks at all, or if it stays the same, or if it grows. I believe it may have grown a little bit. Dan the Man, I'd say, would have about a 1 second lead over Brandon Torres, I would say, just about. The gap is definitely closing there. Brandon Torres drove it in deep and got in the wall, but the gap is for sure closing. Brandon Torres slams the wall, wrecks his car. Is that the end of regulation? Is that the end of the race? Or what's happening here? Do we get a caution?
That's why there's a damn driving school, Bobiash.
Is there a caution? Is that the end of the race? Did we already do 52 laps? Stage 4. Okay.
Stage 4.
Okay. Completely forgot they had 4 different stages here at Charlotte. So I guess this is now the final stage. I'm guessing because there's 4 stages, we will not need green flag pit stops, but... So, 3 different stages, 3 different winners. 2 different manufacturers.
Bang bang boo. What's up, Travis? From X.
We are getting the green flag right now. Dan the Main's leading, Brandon Torres second. What's happening here? That they're not going. Very slow across the line. Dan the Man parks his car. What is happening here, drivers? 3 wide. They keep parking the cars. They're stopping and going. Are they under manual caution, or what's happening here? Green flag, I guess, is back in the air. Don't know what happened there.
Let me know when 5 to go.
More contact between Dan the Man and Brandon. Dan and Bobiash both hit the apron there.
They did a drag race
Dan
start.
smashes Bobiash into the wall. And Brandon Torres is now going to have the lead. Oh, we got a big wreck here on the back stretch between Dan the Man and Bobiash. I'm sure that'll bring up the caution. Let's ride along with here with Brandon, see if it did. It looks like it did. He is slowing down. We got a caution on the track right now. Dan the Man and Bobiash both wrecked their cars. This is getting interesting. Apparently the drivers did a drag race start. Very interesting. See if they do it again here. Looks like they started at 3 wide. They're trying to make stuff interesting here. Let's see if they do it again. Green flag is back in the air, and they are not going at full speed, but they're not stopping. Oh, maybe they are going at full speed. Looks like they're just going to take the green and roll with it. Obviously, the drag race start didn't result very good in Dan or Bobiash, so we got a pass for the lead here. Dan the Man on Brandon Torres now. And 3 wide. Bobiash is going to take it 3 wide heading into turn 3. Brandon in the wall. A little bit of contact there with Bobiash, it looked like. Bobby is back in the wall, and Dan the Man is going to come out of this mess with the lead. More contact between Dan and Brandon as they come home to complete another lap. And Bobiash tries to run that high lane, and they're making this race very interesting. A little bit of a bump to the 95 by the 18, and the 31 of Dan the Man is going to take advantage of this, and another 3 wide heading in the turn 3. Can Bobby hold it? Looks like he did. Dan may have just scraped the wall, but nothing big. Dan in the wall again, coming off of turn number 4. Contact between the 18 and the 95. More contact. Bobby slams the wall, and big wreck here. Looks like they're going to keep it green though, and Brandon's back in the wall. Bobiash is leading once again. And this is getting very interesting. Another huge wreck. All 3 guys are involved. Brandon Torres wrecks, Bobby Ash wrecks, and Dan the Man wrecks. Sure, there's a caution out for that one. What is Dan doing? Are they still under caution? Are they under green or? What in the world? Dan's gonna keep rolling. Looks like they were never under caution. I think they're trying to get a caution and wreck their cars. I don't know why they don't just call a manual if they have an issue with it, but so this is getting a little out of hand. But we'll roll with it.
How many laps left?
Dan the Man is going to be leading once again with heavy damage on the front end of that car. Same thing with Bobby Ash and Brandon Torres. Riding along with Brandon Torres, we got Bobby Ash in front of him with Dan the Man probably's got the most damage of them all, then Bobby, then Brandon. So I'd say it's Dan the Man with the most damage, then Bobby Ash second most, and then Brandon probably with the least amount of damage. And riding along with him, he's got a good amount of damage for being the least amount, as Dan the Man's got a decent lead on him. I believe Dan the Man's going much slower right now because Bobby Ash is really closing in on him, as you can see. And he got in the wall again off of 4, or off of 2. And Brandon Torres really closing into the back of Dan, giving him the bumper. Looking low. Forcing him in the wall. New leader, Brandon Torres. Oh, we got guys in the grass here. Brandon Torres was in the grass. Bobby smacks the wall. Are we under caution? Dan the Man has left. We got 2 guys left.
Torres with the win.
And the race is over. That's why he gave him the bumper. Brandon Torres is our winner. And we seen Dan leave, so there's probably some tempers flaring there once again. So we'll get Brandon Torres in here and see how things were working out for him. And what happened to Brandon? He's not online. We'll get Bobby in here then. Torres had to go, so he didn't want an interview. We'll get Bobby in here. Yo, Bobby Ash, that was stage one. Stage one didn't really work out for you. There was a couple wrecks there at the end. Want to walk me through what adjustments you made and how you rallied back to get a 3rd place finish? Well, I guess you heard it there from Bobby. Let's see what Dan's got to say about it. And twice in a row, our winner will not be interviewed. Heard it there from Bobby Ash. Not too happy with what happened. We'll give Dan the Man a few more minutes here to get in here, and if he doesn't, then he doesn't, and sure, he's probably not in the mood to talk about what happened there, but see if he shows up. Alright, well, I guess that'll do it for today, and maybe we should get Pretty Boy James in here, see if we can get another interview in here and see how his day went before he left for stage 1. Stage 1 winner he was. And then after this, that'll do it, and guess we'll see how the next one goes. We'll give Pretty Boy James a little bit to get in here, and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, looks like we'll have to wrap this up, and that'll do it. Peace out, guys. We'll have another one of these later.